Ash, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a picture.
On what?
I'm going to post it in this Discord and then...
Okay.
Yeah, I'll post 2 pictures now. I want you to tell me what you think is the story behind these pictures when they're just loading up now.
Yeah. Just loading up. Okay.
Just loading them up right now.
Build on the anticipation.
Well, I'm not trying to actually build anticipation. I'm more like Discord, hurry up and fucking send the photos.
It's like, yeah, Discord, hurry up, and then you're gonna put it up in the.
Yeah, I'll make this is gonna be the thumbnail. You're looking at the thumbnail for this episode. It's gonna be one of these photos. Now, looking at these photos, I want you to try and guess. Now, audio listeners, if you're not looking at the thumbnail for this episode, the audio and video version will have the same thumbnail. It's a picture of Ciaran. He's got his wallet. He's
I'm looking kind of handsome. Not gonna lie, I'm looking kind of.
Man,
good.
I don't know if it's going to be a great thumbnail photo, but yeah.
Okay, you can judge the photo.
No, just
later.
because of the cropping you need to do to fit it in there.
Look, I'll figure that out. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
they what do you reckon the context is for why would I take this photo, let alone 2 versions, like several, quickfire snapshots of this photo? Why is Ciaran over there looking the way he is currently? Like, what do you think is
he lost his parking ticket.
Well fucking done. Well fucking done.
Yeah.
It's way worse than that because now this is the thing. This is when this happened. I said, "Oh, here's the arcade couch between the cushions story for the week because solid content."
Hilarious
Anecdote.
There you go.
So long story short, everyone, I was in Melbourne for a couple of days, and Ciaran was nice enough to drive all the way down from buttfuck nowhere, Shepparton down to Melbourne to have a dinner with me. We went to Fortress, which you can ask me about afterwards if you want. But we so
you're talking to me. You're talking to Ciaran.
I'm talking to everyone. I'm talking. It's a podcast, Ash. I mean, it's a like I'm talking.
Okay.
Like I don't know if you're aware how podcasts work, but
Never done one before.
Never done one. They so we're pulling into this parking garage and he starts telling me the story. He's like, funny story. I went to pick up my sister from the airport and I managed to lose my parking ticket 3 times in a very short period of time. And to which I'm like, how? Because any normal person, if they lose something once, they find it, and then usually something like a parking ticket, they usually pretty much it's once. They don't need to lose it again. So this is a funny little story. So we go out, we have the dinner, we wander around Melbourne for a bit, we'll walk around, enjoy the nightlife, everything like that. We're then walking back into the parking garage, hours later, whatever it is. And I thought he was doing a bit of a bit because he's searching his pockets and everything. And I'm just like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. You can't have told that story up there, pulling into the car park, and then lose the fucking ticket. You've got to be kidding me. It wasn't a bit.
I mean, great setup. Yeah.
It wasn't a bit.
Great setup for a gag, Yeah.
Amazing.
Set up the story right before you enter the parking garage. Plant the seeds.
2 hours later.
2 hours later, payoff.
It gets worse. Exactly. It gets worse though. So he's I'm sort of cackling, laughing because I'm like, you can't make this shit up. Snap a few photos, say right there and then, this is the thumbnail for the episode. Done. Solve that. I think from memory, he's like pulling out his wallets, and I see on the back of one of the cards, I can't remember exactly what developer it was, but
I think it was Blowfish.
Blowfish. I see in the back, he's like a bunch of cards and stuff in his hand. I see, Blowfish, that's what it was. I see a Blowfish logo. I'm like, are they a bunch of business cards from PAX 2018? Yeah, they are. They're just in his wallet for fucking 5 years, just holding on to them. Fucking Paul James, player 2 card, everything like that. He's just got
no need to pull that card out in the last 5 years.
He's just got all these fucking PAX business cards.
What's funnier? It's very funny because Ciaran wasn't at the last PAX.
Yeah.
No, that's what we were talking about when it was happening, was why the fuck do you have all these business cards?
Yeah, I was like, why the fuck are you holding on to these business cards from literally the first PAX we ever went to as an Explosion Network? Why the fuck are you holding on to all these cards? So I'm sorting through them. Of course, the parking ticket had managed to weasel its way in between this pile of business cards. So then he tries to make out like the business cards actually saved the parking ticket, which is a very weird way to look at the whole scenario. I don't know what's
business cards caught it. They hugged it safely and tightly. make sure it didn't go anywhere.
Yes, the fact that he held on to these things, like, and I'm sure several times, obviously, open the wallet, get money, get other parking tickets he's lost. I'm sure if we'd actually gone through the entire pile, which, by the way, it took until this very moment in his life, took me to fly down all the way from Tasmania, took me to laugh and make fun of him for still holding on to his business tickets, for him to then decide to chuck them in the bin that was standing right next to us.
Wow, Paul James, you just threw your business card in the bin.
You know what it was? And I've realised now that I am just my own character in my very own adventure point and click game. Because my inventory is just full of stuff that I'm like, I might need this again. Some point in my life, I might need a stack of business cards in my inventory to pull off some switcheroony.
Yeah, that's why you put it in a box somewhere. You know?
No, you have it in your pocket. You can't have it in a box somewhere.
You take a photo and then put it in a box.
What's the photo?
If you need the information, I guess.
Yeah.
So I take a picture of each. It was a decent chunk of business cards.
Oh, yeah, it was a proper pile.
It was like a stack.
It
like
was he had grabbed every business card from
So really, you've been inconveniencing yourself
the
last 5 years.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
He's literally been sitting on this pile of business cards for packs.
Stretching out this wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have put extra money in there.
Wallet.
It's like, no.
I don't. Who puts cash? You know what? I do have cash in my wallet currently for the first time in forever. But who puts cash in their wallet? You know, you just line it with video game developer business cards from 2018, 2019.
Yeah, because that's the other thing.
It's only loyalty cards. That's the only thing that should be.
We get in the car and we're driving out, and as I do anytime someone does something I think is absolutely crazy, I continue to stretch out making fun of them for the longest period of time possibly again. So
really?
Then
is that something you do?
Yeah, I think that's something I do. May annoy some people, but you know, you'll get over it. The thing is that he's then like getting into this whole like pack. When was the last PAX? And I think we're going on the blowing Kieran's mind, being like, no, there wasn't a PAX in 2020. Yeah. There wasn't a PAX in 2021, and you didn't attend PAX in 2019. Like, that's how long...
2018.
Hey?
4 years, so I mean, yeah, 2018.
Yeah, but he didn't attend the last one, which was 2019. Yeah. There hasn't been a PAX since 2019.
Because it was in a correctional facility.
Yeah.
It was Overwatch Edition,
yeah. It worked out well, because he hasn't played the game since.
He got over it, yeah.
He got over it. He got Overwatched.
Money well spent.
Yeah, money well spent. He watched. Overwatch.
So where did you actually put the parking ticket?
It was in my wallet. It was just sandwiched between the business cards.
It was sandwiched between Necro Brewster and I'm sure something of random fucking indie developer that was at the 2018.
Why would you put it in like one of the proper card slots?
You can see my wallet in that picture. Hopefully, I don't think there's any business cards.
I'm sure if we'd gone through the rest of his wallet, he would have had out-of-date bank business cards and licenses and something
all sorts of stuff. It's a problem. The thing is, Dylan forgets part of the story.
Yeah, okay.
Dylan forgets when we get back to
It's going to be a massive M. Shyamalan reveal.
We get back to the car.
We were dead the whole time.
We get back to the car, and I like put my. I think I'm like, it's going to be a drive home.
Oh fuck yeah! How did I forget this part?
I'm going to dump my jacket in the back of the car. Jump my jacket in the back of the car. I sit in the car. I go to start the car, and then I go. Yes, I'll be 1 second. I get back out of the car, go back around to the back door, open the back door, grab my jacket, pull the parking ticket out of my jacket pocket, put my jacket back in the car, and sit back in the car.
And I'm going, are you fucking kidding me? We just spent 10 minutes finding this ticket, and you've lost it again.
My favorite bit is while I'm pulling the jacket out of the back of the car to go to the parking lot, I am like giggling to myself. I am like chuckling and giggling to myself. And Dylan's like, what are you doing? What are you giggling about? I'm like, no. I get back in the car, I put the car parking ticket like in the center console, so I have it go. Dylan's like, you forgot that in your jacket pocket, didn't you? I went, yeah, that's why I was laughing.
I can't imagine if he had like lost the ticket, like it fell out of the jacket when he threw it in the back of the car.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Like the fact that we got in an elevator, went up literally one story. We went from ground to level 2, so maybe 2 stories, I guess. In that time, he's put the ticket in his jacket pocket, and then proceeded to take the jacket off, sit down in the car and go, oh, fuck, where's the ticket? Maybe it's in my jacket pocket, like in the back. What if it wasn't there? Like at that stage, I just don't know what the fucking, I don't know what in his mind the next step was after that. Because it wasn't a thing where he was like, it's 100% in the jacket pot. He's laughing because he's like, I hope it's here.
Look, we retraced the steps. I'm strong. You know what? I have this will lend itself to maybe why I forgot it. I have a pet peeve. I have an annoyance. A piece of.
You had one B. You cannot blame it on alcohol.
No. I have an annoyance about Dylan that I need to proclaim to you, Ashley, and I need you to judge upon. Right?
Okay.
So there we are. I picked Dylan up, driving to Melbourne.
Fair enough.
I love my car. My car's pretty great. It's a newer car. Yeah. While we're driving, my car. You know, when my car auto turns itself off when I get to a traffic light to save fuel.
Weird.
So Dylan and me are talking about that, blah, blah, blah. We go into the car park. I reverse park my car. Dylan's like, wow, your reverse camera's awesome. I don't have one of those. Blah, 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 blah. We're talking. So I'm like, yes. This is the actual setup that I wanted to do. And I got no payoff for this. I'm like, I'm going to blow his fucking mind. I'm going to pull the most James Bond shit that my car does, and he's going to fucking blow his Tasmanian mind.
Was it that it started up when we walked up towards it?
Yeah, he fucking no-sold it. My car will start up. I have to press I've got an app on my phone. I just press the app. It takes about 30 seconds. So I set it up, pressed it as we're going up in the elevator, walk up to the car, lights turn on, car turns on as we get into the car doors. Yeah. Fucking nothing. Fucking nothing. I gotta be
completely honest. We're walking up to the car. The car turns on at auto starts. A slight thought went through my head. That's pretty cool. But then I still had this other thought that was like, I hope he's got that fucking ticket. So I couldn't think it too much of the fucking
no-sold the car starting up. I was so mad. No wonder I didn't remember the ticket in the jacket pocket. I was prepared to set up his, fucking PS to the resistance of the night.
You'll be like, yeah, it is fucking cool, right?
Yeah,
you're like, how am I going to sell this? How am I going to hype myself up?
Yeah. I was like, fuck yeah,
Ticket just completely forgotten about.
Fucking nothing. It's my favorite party trick.
It was pretty cool, but I was just
somebody I haven't been in my car with before. When we go back to the car, start that shit up on my phone. Get it fucking cool because my car sounds cool from the outside. It fucking looks cool when it does it. Fucking nothing. This is fucking outrageous.
Ciaran, you're going to come pick us up at the airport in a couple of weeks.
I am.
I'll sell it for. I'll sell
you.
You
better sell it, and Buddy better sell it. Otherwise, I'm just going to sell my car and get a Nissan Micra. Fuck my life. Pointless.
I already told Ash this other day, so it's not like brand news, but for the sake of
sell like Shawn Michaels with Hulk Hogan. That's what I'm gonna sell.
But for the sake of this, just for the sake of mentioning on this podcast again, just like I absolutely loved the fact that the first thing I said to Ciaran when I got to his car was just like looking for scratch marks that they fucking run onto, or looking for.
He's
a
like,
wheel.
I was looking for you to need his hand changing your tire when I got here.
Well, for a start, I don't know what car looks like, so I'm
no, it is a different car from last time.
Yeah, it's a different car from last time. So I'm walking past this car, and I think it must be you. And I just like sort of try to look to see who's in it, but sort of tinted windows. I'm like,
you missed the socially awkward bit in the front where I pull up to Dylan's hotel, and I've had to do kind of a loop around because I drove past it because it's a bit of an awkward spot. Drove past it. There is one spot available that's sandwiched between two black vans. For any sports fans, those black vans were from Kane Corns' run. Because it had Kane Corns' fucking giant ugly face slapped on the side of it.
Dan, that guy doing charity work.
Charity work. But
that's what Ciaran thinks.
There's like the car parking spot in between the two. So I was like, sweet, pick up Dylan. Fucking go to reverse park it. Have to take a couple attempts because the fucking vans are parked in an annoying spot.
Well, it sounds like the camera's not that good.
I get to like this. I get almost in, and then all of a sudden I notice a valet from the hotel has come out of the hotel and is standing by like some like the things you have to create lines, like the barrier things with like the tape across it. Stood by one of those. Realized motherfucking valet spot, and then I'm like, oh, so sorry, and I had to pull up and find a different spot for Dylan to find me in. I'm just this is not my night.
Yeah. We're walking around. He's telling me that I'm staying somewhere. He's like, oh, there's a famous sports dude or something staying at your hotel. whatever. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about, but all I know is I was standing there, so famous as fuck, you know? Because I was like, I'm pretty sure, because for the context for everyone listening, I was at a work like conference thing, and they put me up in this, what I thought, I was like, I think I'm in this like sort of fancy hotel. And then Ciaran was like, yeah, it is fancy because this motherfucker's staying there. I was like, okay. I guess that adds up.
Well, I don't know if it's that fancy. You know, they would have saved
it's
money.
It's fancier than like you know when you go to a work thing.
Money better spent on charity than the.
Well, let me put it this way. Here's how I summed it. I'll tell the exact same story that I told Ciaran to explain how I think this was a fancy hotel. Yeah. This is how I rate it. So it was a big room, and it was a big bathroom. But the selling point to any hotel to me is this: 50-inch TV, right?
Ooh,
not just a 50-inch TV. But an LG, not some off-brand fucking Kmart, Target branded weird cheap TV. An LG Nano 50-inch LG TV on the wall. That shit is, you don't see that. Mint. That's important. You know? I'm a big deal. Do you know who I am?
You know.
It's like...
I didn't use it once. Just to clarify, I did not turn that TV on once, other than to turn it on and go, oh, there's LG logo. Cool. Off. I never touched it again. So that was a good job. Yeah. All right. That's so what was you up to while that was happening? Ash, you got anything that's happened this week? Nah. Yeah.
Nah, nothing interesting.
So
that was the Fortress.
The Fortress. The Fortress.
The Fortress of Legend.
The Fortress. Well, first things first.
Fortress so good it survived a whole entire pandemic. So I mean,
we go into like the mall area, whatever you call it, to where you find it, and they block that off after a certain point. Like there is like a little escalator bit that goes down, but apparently that's blocked off after a certain point because they go to 18 only, like 18 plus to get in there. So then we have to find like this weird like side alley bit where Ciaran's like
dodgy, looks dodgy as fuck.
He's like, Ciaran's like, it looks a bit dodgy. I'm like, yeah, it's fucking. Every alley in Melbourne looks dodgy, but that's what, yeah. So I walk down there, get in. They do a whole ID check and everything like that. So still young at heart. Then,
I think it's mandatory.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we wasn't there for super long. We tried to find like they had board game night on, so there wasn't like actually any esports to watch at the main area or whatever. But we had dinner at the, what do they call it? The
tavern.
The tavern, which is a fucking massive area. Like, I don't feel like obviously we've talked about this on Arcade Couch when they were planning it, and you looked at the pictures and everything, and it looks like this massive multi-story area. It is a fairly big fucking place. Like, it is big. And that area, the tavern, the bar area, I mean, it's pretty cool. Like, they've got, like, it is a bar at the end of the day. Like, it's got some tables. It's got some, typical bar circle with stools and stuff, which is what we ended up sitting on and stuff like that. They've got a bunch of TVs around. People can like book in areas, like a little lounge, half circle areas where people are playing like Mario Kart and stuff like that. That's cool. FIFA on another side and stuff like that with TVs and stuff. And then there's a bunch of TVs around the area, around the bar. Like it's literally like a sports bar, but obviously it's esports, It's like, so all the TVs around, instead of playing boxing and AFL and whatever else, they're playing fucking Call of Duty and Dota and whatever else, Counter-Strike and whatever. Like, it's literally just a sports bar, but with a Dungeons and Dragons fantasy themed decor and a bunch of TVs playing esports, not normal sports. But that's cool. Like, I thought it was, I don't know, what'd you think, Ciaran? I thought it was cool.
It was a good environment. Like, it was cool. I have one minor thing, and it's not anything to do with, well, it kind of is to do with Fortress. Because we didn't book a table, because Dylan and me, until like about 5 minutes before we went to eat, didn't actually decide where the fuck we were going. We were like between a couple places, went to Fortress. So we find a little bar table. It's one of those like small circular ones with high seats. Sitting there, and Dylan orders his food. I order my food. I get a pint of cider.
You didn't buy him a pizza?
You know what? I thought about offering, but then we just paid for our own, so I'll just get him a pizza.
I have to get that at PAX. It's a PAX thing.
Yeah, it's a PAX thing.
Yeah.
And then fucking Dylan gets his food first, which I'm like, that's cool. Dylan ordered first. I was looking at sides. Dylan cancels out majority of the sides because he doesn't like them. So I was like, okay, cool. Ordered. got my pint there. Dylan gets these fucking chicken things or whatever. Dylan starts eating. He goes, "Sorry, not going to wait for you. I'm fucking starving." I'm like, "No, it's fine. Don't worry about it."
Not even a lie. That's literally what I said.
Not even a lie. That is verbatim what he said to me. And I was like, "That's cool. I don't care. We're just hanging out, having a drink. It's up." Energy. Next minute, Dylan starts cutting into this chicken like he's fucking hacking down a tree. And it is shaking the table enough that a good, half of my pint of cider is now all over the fucking table.
I mean,
it was a mouthful.
This is surprising. I think we've seen Dylan cut food before.
I know, but I was like, and I look, and Dylan looks up at me with his fucking piece of chicken, and there's just this pool of cider on the fucking table.
Yeah.
Like, where'd this come from?
Yeah, it's crazy how
Crazy.
it's crazy how that happened. Yeah, well, you can talk shit. Who the fuck ended up dropping something on the floor later just to pretend like it never happened? Huh? Was that my fault?
Because the knife went flying onto the floor. I was already finished my food. I was like at the end. I was like last bite, and then I stood up to look, and it was like under some guy's chair.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
He goes to have his last bite. Next second I look up, I hear clank, bash, crash, and this fucking cutlery landing on the floor. Ciaran stands up, spends 1 second looking at it before it realizes it's gone to the table.
I look at it under the chair, and I'm like, I don't want that. Social awkwardness here. I don't want it to be like, sorry, mate, can you just get up out of your chair so I can reach under? Or I don't want to just try and sneakily reach under his chair to grab a knife because that looks kind of fucking dodgy and weird. So I was like, you know what, knife? You live down there now. Good luck, mate. That is where you now belong.
Probably wouldn't have used it anyway once it landed on the floor, to be honest. But
yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But no, Fortress was cool. We didn't try it. Obviously, we weren't there for that long, but I was very much like, let's just go there tonight because in PAX it's just going to be dumb to try and come here. So that's how I felt about that.
Well, we'll probably try.
I mean, maybe. I don't know, but
maybe we have to book a table for it.
I feel like it would have to be. It's going to be super busy during PAX weekend, so
yeah.
Because it was either between Fortress or Five Guys. Because I really want to try Five Guys, and I think that's also going to be busy during PAX week.
Probably, yeah.
But we'll see.
I mean, everything.
There'll be at least 5 guys there, right?
Yeah, crazy. Good job. Yeah, fucking smashed it. The general thing also, I felt like it was quite busy. Obviously, it was long weekend, football weekend, stuff like that. I thought,
did you get in the grand final spirit, Dylan?
I mean, I did watch half an hour of the semi-final on TV the other weekend, so I'm basically a super fan of sports there. You know,
hopefully not the depressing match on Friday night.
What was the depressing one? I watched the Hawthorn one. Was that the depressing one? No, not the Hawthorn one. The fucking...
the Brisbane one?
Yeah, the Brisbane one. No, not Brisbane one. No, what was the other one?
The Sydney and...
that's the one I watched. Half hour of that one.
The good game. The really good game.
Where they won by 1 point.
One was a horrible game. One was a really good game. And you watched the better of the...
I watched the better one because winning by 1 point was pretty funny. So, although I watched someone miss a goal by about a fucking standing right in front of it. So, I don't know. And then... I'm not a big fan, but, I'd probably fire that dude, but that's fine.
This week, my whole desire to watch footy has gone out the window. I just the whole Hawthorn bullshit came out, and I was like, all desire I currently have to watch football is gone. Shit, why? I was part of me, and this,
it's probably good they're not in the finals, right?
It was a good that we're not in the finals.
It's good Brisbane didn't win.
Yeah.
It's a good Brisbane didn't win as well, because at the same time, part of me, the football fan of me, that was kind of like, ABC, couldn't you fuckers have waited like a week? Couldn't you have let people enjoy the AFL Grand Final and then bring out this shitstorm of terrible fucking news?
I mean, it's probably bigger than the AFL. It's bigger than the AFL Grand Final, I guess.
It is, but at the same time, it's been put out, so yeah, it's just a selfish viewpoint for me. That's majority of me is just like, I feel fucking terrible, and I really hope that it didn't happen and those things didn't happen.
It definitely did. It definitely did.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, of course, everybody who was apparently involved in terms of the coach's side have all kind of refuted it.
Said no, yeah.
No, I was not in part of that. What the hell? But it could lead to, two football clubs losing their head coaches before the next season even starts. It's...
I mean, it is so horrific.
Yeah, that it should happen if it is. Yeah.
No, it raises the element of doubt, you know?
Yes.
It's like, surely they could not have done this.
Yeah, it's horrible. And I would, if people haven't read it, I would look into it because it is horrible. That was what was allegedly done to First Nation players at the Hawthorn Football Club during that period. Yeah, it's real shit. No, I don't think won't even watch the grand final now on Saturday because I just, I'll be happy if Sydney wins somewhat, but at the same time, I'm just.
Wow, really piling it on Paul James this episode.
Fuck Geelong. Fuck Geelong. That's part of the reason why I threw out his card,
No, who are you picking then? Ash, this episode comes out Monday nights. Obviously, it's like several days after. But
you already know at this
We
point.
already know. I'm picking Geelong because
you're betting.
I'm picking Geelong because they need to win this.
Why?
No, they don't.
They need to.
Why?
Like, this is the last opportunity for like people like Patrick Dangerfield, Tom Hawkins, and
exactly. That's
Joel Selwell to get.
That's 100%
to win it.
why they should.
Whereas you feel like Sydney can go again because they've got a very young core. So,
but that makes more reason to shit on Geelong Parade and not win.
You're just saying that because you're a Hawthorn fan and you've
100%.
got a mortal grudge against Geelong.
100%.
Who you picking? Who you tipping, Ciaran?
The head tip is Geelong because they look fucking outrageous last week. My heart is I just want Sydney to win. I think it'll be.
All right, so your tip is Geelong?
No, my tip's Sydney, but the smart person would say Geelong.
Okay, I'm going Sydney, so we'll see if the two of us.
Let's go, you blood boys!
Wow.
Or Ash. So 2v1. So he goes.
Yep.
Fuck you, Paul. Paul ain't listening.
Paul, host of a Geelong football podcast.
Yeah, it's fine. He ain't listening to the show. He'll never know. No one will tell him. Okay.
Definitely nobody's going to clip this.
No one will clip this. In fact, don't. Let's record Arcade Couch.